All right, an equation of the form y equals mx plus 0 represents a line that passes through the origin where m is the slope of the line. Now, on that sheet that I just passed out, you saw that a horizontal line has a slope of 0, and it has an equation of the form y equals c, where c is a constant. I'll show you.
A vertical line.
So we have the coordinate plane and horizontal line looks like that, has a slope of 0, and the equation could be y equals 4. 4 is the constant. It's always 4. It's 4 here, it's 4 here, it's 4 here,
Oh,
it's 4 here.
okay.
Okay.
I understand now.
All right, a vertical line has no slope and an equation of the form x equals c, where c is a constant.
Is that the one where it dies?
Where it what?
Where the bird dies?
Yes, where the bird dies.
Okay.
So, on the coordinate plane, it would be like this, and the bird dies because he's falling vertically.
Aw. You cry
That's
about
gonna
it.
really help me.
So,
Well, bird can fly.
so now you have in the back of your mind that the bird's going to die when you just touch lunch. So, this equation would be x equals something like -3. It's -3 here, it's -3 here, it's -3 here, it's -3 here. And it's going through the x-axis. All right. Graph each of the following lines from their equations. So, we have y equals 2x. Now, the past week or so, we've been looking at equations, and we've been filling in t-tables and graphing the points from the equations. For example, if I put in 0, I have 2 times 0, which is 0. If I put in 1 for x,
That's 2.
it is 2. There's another way that we can do this by looking at the equation. Because we have y equals mx plus b. What does the m represent?
The slope.
The slope.
2/1.
It is 2/1. And our b represents the what?
Y-intercept.
Very good. The b represents the y-intercept. And in today's case, it's always going to be 0. So the y-intercept being 0 means we're at what spot on the
Origin.
We're at the origin, always. So the y-intercept is 0 for this particular equation. And our slope, you guys just told me, was what?
2/1.
2/1. Because we're using the rise over the run today. So our y-intercept is 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to graph the y-intercept first. Put a dot at the origin.
Got it.
And then from the origin, we're going to use the slope to find the next point. So for this particular problem, Our rise is what?
2.
So we count up 2, and our run is
1.
so we move over 1, and that's where we put our next point.
I'm beast man. Work up menu.
Now, let's compare this line to the ordered pairs that we looked at in the table. Do we have the point 0, 0 graphed?
Yeah, that's cool. Yes.
Do we have the point 1 and 2 graphed?
Yeah.
So, 2 different ways to graph the line. You can set up a table, or you can use the equation by graphing the y-intercept first and then using the slope to find the next point. So, example B, y equals 3/4 x. What is my y-intercept?
0.
What is my slope?
3/4.
3/4. So, first thing I'm going to do is make a dot at the origin
Wait, so is the y-intercept always going to be 0?
for today. Tomorrow it's not going to be. So after I make the dot at 0, 0, I'm going to use my rise and my run. So what's my rise? So I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, and my run is, so I'm going to count to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, make the dot. Example C, what's my y-intercept?
0.
What is my slope?
1/3.
Negative 1/3. So where do I put my first point?
Under
At-
at 0 at the origin.
The origin, 0, 0. And my slope is negative 1/3, so my rise will be what?
1. Negative 1.
Negative 1. I go down 1, and my run is
3.
so I go over 1, 2, 3. Does it make sense that my line is heading down?
Yes, because it's
Yeah.
negative.
Because it has a negative slope, it should be heading down. So you should be looking at your lines and asking yourself if they make sense. Example D.
It equals 0.
Y equals 0, y-intercept equals 0. What
And
is
it's
my slope?
2 over 5.
Negative 5.
2 over negative 5.
It's the same thing.
Okay, so let's look at Connor's educated guess there. He says negative 2 over 5 is the same
It's the
thing
same
as...
thing, yeah, it is.
It's the same thing.
Okay, so first point is going to be where?
Origin.
At the origin.
All right. So using the slope that we were given, 2 over negative 5, where would we move first?
Up 2
Up 2, and then?
over negative 5. To the
So I would
left.
go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's equal. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. This makes the same angle. Okay, and then you go
All right, so from this line,
beyond the same line.
starting at the origin and testing out Connor's theory, I would do what first?
Go down 2 and then 4, 5.
Go down 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my, Connor was right.
I did that wrong. That's why I said I win again.
Nice.
Like a champion.
All right, E. What is my y-intercept?
0.
And my slope.
Negative 6 over 1.
That's negative 6 over 1.
All right, so I'm starting where?
Negative 1 over 6.
Origin.
And then?
Over 6.
Down 6.
Down
6. 1, 2,
over
3, 4,
Oh,
5,
God
6.
dang it.
Over 1. Remember, when you're graphing slope, you're doing rise over run, which is completely opposite of graphing ordered pairs. Because ordered pairs, we always do the x first and then the y. So this sometimes feels unnatural for us because we're doing the rise first and then the run. So it's backwards. All right, F. y equals x. What's my slope?
0.
I'm sorry.
1/1.
It's 0.
My
Is
y-intercept is,
0.
and my slope is.
1/1.
How do you know this 1/1?
Because they equal each other.
Remember, this is, when there's no number in front, it's the same thing as an imaginary 1. So start at where?
Origin. Start at 0.
And then?
Go up 1.
Nice. Alright, G. What's my y-intercept?
0.
No.
No?
What?
Negative.
Just kidding. It's negative.
What's different about this one?
X.
Equal.
It's x. What did we talk about on the front with x?
Why?
X equals slope.
Kidding.
X is the slope.
No.
X.
What type of a slope does it have?
Oh, it has a horizontal. Has
Horizontal.
horizontal.
Negative.
It's not horizontal.
It's vertical.
It's vertical. So what kind of slope does it have?
Negative.
It has no slope.
It has no slope.
Because the birdie died.
Yes.
Keepers.
So we need to go to where x equals -3. So x equals -3.
Can
one,
you
two,
move the
three.
paper up, please? Thank you.
Oh, I got it.
Does it have a y-intercept?
No,
Why?
because it doesn't have a slope.
It doesn't have a slope. Does it ever hit the y-axis?
Oh.
No.
Got it.
All right, H.
Now the y-intercept equals 4,
Yes.
and the slope is 4/1.
No.
No, just kidding.
This is a vertical.
Not vertical.
Horizontal.
Horizontal.
That's what I meant. I had
So
my
my
hand
slope is
4.
no.
There's 0.
Yes.
Winner.
It has a slope of 0, so I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, make a dot, and because I have a slope of 0, and my line is what?
Wait a second. Just
horizontal.
Horizontal.
kidding.
So taking all unused desks, tables,